Hello everyone, my name is Gavin, and this will be a video on how to make a key mechanic in which you walk up to a door and it won't allow you to pass unless you have the proper key. I will be using a bit of Python and I'm just going to get started. So let's double click the A button first to select everything and hit X and delete, and do spacebar and then add a cube again. This cube will be our main player, and I'm going to select Blender Game right here and change the physics from static to character and click actor. Drag this in, click on the materials tab right here and hit new, and hit diffuse, and let's change the color of our player to blue, and let's rename our player by clicking there, and let's select blue let's name him as player like this. If we hit P, we should see he'll drop, and that's good. Let's now make a plane by doing spacebar and then add a plane like this, and this plane will act as our environment. So with our plane still selected, I'll hit S and 10, and this will be our plane. And let's go into edit mode right here, and we're going to make some boundaries to make it so our player can only get out if he goes to the door. Click the face select mode right here and right click on the top surface and do W and subdivide, W subdivide, W subdivide, W subdivide. There should now be about 100 cubes in the middle right here. Hit B as in boy to drag one corner and drag it across this side. B as in boy and drag across this side. B as in boy and drag across this side, and B as in boy and drag across this section, but leave about 4 cubes in the middle like this. Okay, without deselecting anything, let's go back into object mode, and on our plane, let's hit new material, and let's make the base material yellow, and let's add a new material. This new material will be red, and with this new material, let's go into object edit mode like this. And with the side selected, with the red material selected, hit assign, and the walls of the map will now become red. Once they become red, hit E to extrude and drag it up like this, and go into object mode and hit 7, and we should see our map like this. Alright, let's now make a door by doing spacebar and then add a cube. This cube will be our door like this, and I'll hit S and X to make it roughly the same width as the door, and I'll hit S and Z to scale it up. Hit new, and let's apply, let's say I guess just a pink material or something. I'll just call this door as door like this, and I'll hit 7 to go on the top view, and right click back on your player. What we now want to do is go to game logic like this, and on our door, we're going to make a simple script. We're going to have an always sensor. We're going to have a near sensor. Actually, we're not going to do these for the door. We're going to do these on the player. Have an always sensor with a Python controller connected. Have a near sensor. This near sensor will be named as near. And when we're near the property door, and I'll put a distance of 5 and a reset distance of 5. Alright, and if we have the space bar, if we have a keyboard sensor named space, with tab selected, and the space bar key in there like this, we're going to connect them to this Python controller. Alright, now that we have those, let's add a game property. This game property will be a boolean, and it will be key like this. And what it's going to be is, if we have a template Python and then game logic simple, drag this out and delete the portion I've highlighted. Hit control and scroll up on your mouse to make your text larger, and rename this as script.py and add this right here. What we're going to do is define our near and our spacebar sensors by doing near is going to equal controller.sensors near, and then space is going to equal controller.sensors space. So now if we're near the door and we press the space bar, it's going to check to make sure that we have the key. So let's have if near.positive. What we're going to do is have if space.positive, and if own key is equal to true, we're just going to have it do something which we haven't defined yet, and if it's else, do something we haven't defined that. Alright, so now that we have this, what's going to happen is we need to get the door into our script as well. So there's our door at the top. So let's define the current scene. Scene is going to equal bg.logic.gets current scene like this. And now that we have that, what we're going to do is have if the key variable is true, we're going to do door.endObject. But we haven't defined the door yet. Door is going to equal scene.objects. Actually, let's not do that. Sorry, I just thought about that. If we were to do that, then it would screw up the script because it would constantly be searching for an object that we deleted. If we're by a door and we press the key variable, if we have the key and we're by a door, we're going to do own.sendMessage, and this message will be open. If this door retrieves the message open, so if the message is being searched for, open, like this, we're going to do add actuator edit object and change it to end object. Connect it like this. And just to see if this works, I'm going to make this Boolean operator true, hit this I and do game and then show debug properties. Now do game and then show physics visualization. I'm going to right click on this door and add the property door because remember that's what our near sensor needs. And I'm going to add an actuator like this and make it an actor, or change the physics type to actor. And we should see that if I hit the space bar, it's not going to do anything. Line 19 has an error. Oh. It wasn't reading something, so it was just giving me an error. So if I hit the space bar now, you'll see since we have the key, the door will delete. So space bar, door deletes. If our player's property key is false, it's not going to delete. So let's make an actual object in the game that we can pick up that'll be our key. So what we're going to do is do spacebar and then add a cube. This cube will be, let's say, what color should we make it? I'll do green. Not really a key color, but it'll work. We'll change the physics type of this key to actor. And what we're going to do is, if our player collides with it, so if our player has a collision, a tap with the property key. Let's add a property key to this object, key like this. So if our player collides with a key object, let's connect that sensor to our Python controller. What we're going to do is let's define the collision sensor. Collision equals controller.sensor's collision. If a collision occurs, collision.positive, we're going to have own key is going to equal true. Alright. And since we collided with an object, we're going to have collision.hitObjects.endObject. So it's going to delete the key that we picked up. Okay. Now that we have that, let's drag this the cube outside of the floor. Let's right click on our player and let's have it so that if we press the W key, it's going to move our player forward. And let's have it be 0.1 like that, and connect it to your keyboard sensor you just added. And we should see that if we make this key variable false really quick, we can move forward. It'll collide with it. I think there's an error really quick. Collision.hitObject.endObject. Okay. So yeah, once we collide with the green cube, it'll delete and the key property will be true. Press the space bar, the door opens. If we don't collide with the cube objects, try and open the door, it won't open. Alright guys, so that is how you make a key opening a door mechanic inside your Blender game. I hope you guys find this useful. I will leave the script open for just one more second. I'll hit Control and scroll out, and there you go. There's your scripts. Define your sensors. If you collide with the key, set your key found Boolean operator to true and delete the key. If you're near a door and you press the spacebar and you have the key, open the door, and if you don't have the key, just do something else like print no or something. Alright, I hope you guys find this very useful.